Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 8. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm rearranging things. Let's start with Sonya. So Sonya's having a talk with her sister, and she's telling her that she feels like she needs to have like one of those talks with Ross. Okay, one of those difficult talks that sometimes a wife finds that they have to have with their husband because she doesn't want another child. Okay, she said that she doesn't feel like she has much support in the house, and there's things that she wants to do. She said she didn't have really any support in the past, and she just doesn't want to repeat that again. And so she needs to have this conversation with Ross because, of course, Ross still wants to have another child. And she wants to make sure that that she is able to get him to understand her reasons why, that he really does hear her. Okay, the sister was like, I hate to be in your shoes. I was like, me too, because, child, that is a conversation that when you get married, like, these are the conversations that you need to talk about. And apparently she must have agreed that they were going to have more children, but now she's changing it, and that can be a big problem. But sometimes once you had that first baby and it's clear that Deuce then wore her nerves down quite a bit, sometimes you got to reevaluate, what exactly is going to be best for you. And if you know you can't be a good mom to 2 kids, you don't know what that second one going to be like, I understand both sides. So Sonya, she makes a special dinner for her husband, Ross. Now, remember, she told us at the beginning of the season that she don't really cook, okay? The mama's in there, too, with her in the kitchen. She gonna make, like, some sweet and sour salmon and some, I look like rice and vegetables or whatever. And, the mom is all hovering, trying to tell her she don't know how to burn or turn on, which one is for this and that. And, I was like, girl, just let your mama cook it, okay? But anyway, she tells her mom that she's going to have this conversation she's going to have a nice private night with her husband, and she wants her mom to make sure that she keeps Deuce occupied so that she can have this nice night with him. And she was just like, don't worry about it, mama got it, okay? So she gets the plates together. Well, she goes and gets dressed, and she gets the plates together, and she calls Ross down to the table. He's just so touched, like, wow, like, you don't never do this. They sit down, and then they have, little small talk, but then we get down to why we here. So apparently Ross is gone a lot trying to get this business that they have off the ground. They have a business in Texas. Remember, he has like a limousine, like a car service business. And just me thinking about it, they probably had this business going before they realized that she was going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she needed to be in Atlanta. So they had to move to Atlanta, obviously, but their business is in Texas. So, he's gone because he's trying to get that business off the ground. And in the meantime, it's her and Deuce alone. Even though she has a house full of people, she says she feel like they don't really help her, and it's not really even their responsibility anyway. Ross is the dad. He should be here. And Ross was like, I'm trying to do this for our family, and I would like to feel like, you're being supportive of me when I go down there and, work our business. And I don't want to feel like, you feel like I'm not being supportive to you, okay? It's not like I'm down there just partying it up and having a good time. I'm working. And Sonya says, you know what, I do hear you, okay? But she finally tells him that she doesn't feel like it's the best thing for them to have another child. She just feels like it's just not going to work. But she also wants to know that if she decides not to have another baby, is he going to resent her? And he was just like, I really don't know. Okay, that was his honest answer. But he still does want to have another kid. So she's saying that she really wants them to make a decision together, but I don't know if this is a decision that they are going to be able to make together. Ultimately, it's her body. And ultimately, if she doesn't want to have a baby, then clearly she doesn't have to have a baby. But, it's just, this is a difficult thing for marriages. And people go through this all the time, and some make it and some don't. Let's hope that Ross and Sonya is able to pull through with this one. Now let's jump over to Sheree and Marlo and Kandi. So they all meet at this, I guess it's an infrared spa. I was just like, Kandi was a good ass sport meeting Marlo anywhere. I would have been like, fuck Marlo. But Kandi is trying to get these scenes. She's already obligated to the show and everything. But the way that Marlo has already been in the past 7 episodes, No. But anyways, this infrared spa, it's a way to burn calories, but you ain't got to do no exercise. So, of course, that's right up Marlo's alley. So before Kandi gets there, Sheree and Marlo, they get undressed and get they spa shit together, and they about to get in the spa, and Kandi gets there, and they was like, come on, we gonna get in here, and she was just like, I'm not getting in there because I have somewhere to be, and I'm not doing that. Marlo was just like, come on, Kandi, get in, it feels so good. Okay, no. All right, you ain't fucking up my hair. So Kandi sits on the outside of the little spa while Marlo and Sheree are in there. And so then Marlo looks at Sheree, and she was just like, so do you want to talk to Kandi about what we were talking about, or, do I? And then Sheree was just like, okay, I'll start. And then we start on this really juvenile conversation about how Sheree feels like Kandi should be there for her. Okay, because in the past, they were good friends when they were smalls, and they would have parties, and she would come over to the house, and she would hang around the friends and all of that. And somewhere along the line, it's gotten bad. Okay, but so she feels like her and Kandi, they've fallen off track, but she just feels like she wants more from Kandi. I was just like, who the fuck has this kind of conversation? Let me tell you something. If you came and told me some shit like that, and we really are not friends like that, like Kandi and Sheree, they ain't never been super close on the show. So if you came and told me some shit like that, I would be like, you know what? I'm through with you. Because you are requesting me to do something like Kandi said. Kandi was just like, first the fuck all, you guys be coming at me with this mess, but you don't even do the same for me. It's not like you be calling me and checking on me, but you want me to be checking on y'all black asses all the goddamn time? Like, no. You guys, I don't know if it was the editing or what, but that shit escalated so quickly. And honey, Kandi she had to broke up and everything because I'm tired of this. You guys always do this. You throwing it back on me. And I was like, hold on, Kandi. Don't let him get under your skin like this, girl. But that Marlo will fucking drive you crazy. Okay? Because Marlo was trying to tell her that, you know what? Marlo got problems just like Kandi, and she don't have no family, no family support. And Kandi was just like, my family complains about me not being there either. Okay? So it's not like, you guys... Kandi was just like, please miss me with this bullshit. But when I tell you that shit escalated, and then Sheree gonna say in the confessional that she couldn't understand how Kandi would, she didn't expect Kandi to have this temper tantrum. Really? What is wrong with Sheree? I mean, I almost feel like they all playing in our faces, because I was just like, can't nobody be this. I mean, you just really can't be this crazy. Okay? And that Marlo is special. Sheree is stupid. And I was just like, and Kandi showing up there in the first place, like I said, I wouldn't even have came. But of course, when Kandi get all with the crying and everything, then Marlo is just like, okay, Kandi. All right, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be supportive. She's giving Kandi a hug, and Kandi is just sort of like, bitch, get off of me. They have really drained me with their bullshit. I don't have any more time for this. I was like, I know you don't. You shouldn't have made time. And you best believe I wouldn't go nowhere with them heifers ever again. And then later on, we see Sheree. She on the phone with her business manager because she's trying to get She by Sheree off the ground. She says she ain't just slapping her name on clothes and saying that it's hers. She doing this from the ground up. Okay, so she got to source out the material, and she got to source out this, and she got to source out that, and I was just like, girl, why you... Don't nobody care about this She by Sheree. Okay? Don't nobody care. All right? Go on and sell your yoga mats and your damn water bottles and let that be that. Now, Marlo is at the house with the boys. She tells us that ever since the boys had the conversation with the mom and all, how bad that went, she said that the boys have been acting out. All right? So she's trying to get them back on track because that kind of has affected the family. Okay, so she's putting them to work in the house, having them clean her closet or whatever, and she's telling them about her first job. Her first job, she worked at McDonald's. She worked all the time. She said she'd been working since she was like 15 years old. She would work at McDonald's. When she said wet seal, you guys, it just warmed my heart, because I'm telling you, I used to love me some wet seal. Oh my God, the best stores in Fox Hills Mall. Child memories. Anyway, she tells the boys that she's talked to their sister. They was just sort of like, who? Okay, apparently they have a 27-year-old sister. Marlo was just like, the sister lives out of town. The boys are not close to her. They didn't really grow up around her or whatever, but she had talked to the sister, and she was hoping that the sister was going to talk to the mama and try to get the mama to come around. But I was just like, if the mama's over there screaming and throwing chairs and shit in the jail, and I don't know if that 27-year-old sister's gonna make any leeway. But I mean, it don't hurt to try, right? Now, jumping over to Kandi, we see Kandi. She meets Manetta, and who is a friend of the show, okay, who actually I think would be a really good housewife. Maybe they're going to see if, you know, she works out. If the fans like her enough, maybe they'll bring her on for next season and get rid of Drew. But anyway, she meets Manetta and Kenya at a candle making place. I was just like, where is that out here? I want to go. I've been knowing Manetta Shaw for a long time. She has 2 kids with Neo. And every time she's around, it's just positive vibes. Everybody says that Manetta is a very sweet person. I mean, people that I know around Atlanta have said that she's very, very nice. Anyway, when Kenya gets there and they're talking, you know, Kandi was telling Kenya that Manetta has helped her with her charity, you know, and Kenya was just like, oh, Kandi Cares. And that's the charity that they were talking about the other day. And Kandi was just like, what? Like, what was they saying? Kenya was just like, yeah, Marlo was going on and on saying how you don't do enough for the community and you need to do more. And Kandi was looking at her like, what? I was just with them the other day and they had all of this mess. I feel like Marlo is starting a campaign to hate me. I was just like, exactly. And I don't even know why Marlo's doing it other than Kandi is the favorite on the show. I don't even think that Marlo is jealous of Kandi. I think Marlo is just doing whatever she has to do to keep her name in everybody's mouth when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. But the bad thing about it is she's sort of bringing the brand like, you know, this is, I mean, she's so gutter with it. Anyway, Kenya asked Kandi, did she get invited to the Dropping with Drew event? And Kandi says, yeah, she did. They're all going. They invite Manetta, tell her that she got to go too. So Manetta's down. And then Kandi was just like, wait a minute, Manetta, let me ask you a question, okay? Now, she brings up the whole situation that happened when they was in New York with the vibrating panties. And Kenya was over her shoulder like, okay, first of all, it's vibrating panties that have a remote. And somebody's husband can control the remote of the panties that I'm wearing is vibrating. So when Kandi was explaining it to Manetta, at first she was like, I was on your side at first, Kandi, but now you talking about this remote control and all of this. Anyway, they get to going back and forth. And Kandi was just like, last year when we was at the dinner, you told everybody that I can get it. Now, all of a sudden, you all Miss Goody Two-Shoes. And Kenya was like, baby, don't be plotting on this pussy. Okay, don't be trying to tell me what I need to do with my puss. Okay, so they go back and forth, and they both trying to tell Manetta how Kandi was either tripping or not tripping. And Kandi was just like, see, that's the thing with me and Kenya. We can agree to disagree, and then we can still be friends. Whereas Marlo just wants to turn people against me. Now, let's jump over to Drew's Dropping with Drew event. Okay, now it's bullshit to begin with. All right, and I knew it was going to be bullshit, but we just going to play along with Drew. Let her think that we believe in this mess. All the ladies come, including Manetta. Kandi was just like, well, I see her name on the door, but I don't know if this is really her facility. I don't know. I was like, it's clear that this shit was created for the show. That Drew is such a liar. Oh my God. Sonya's there, and Sonya says that she's hoping that she and Drew can get to a better place, you know, because she really wants to be Drew's friend. I guess she decided that the way that she approached it didn't go over well. So, you know, she tells Drew, you know, thank you for inviting me. And Drew was just like, no problem. Of course I would invite you. You know, and they hug each other. And Sonya just starts talking all of her business to Drew. I was just like, y'all just getting back sort of cool and you telling her your business? You sure this is what you want to do, Sonya? First, she talks to Ralph. And she's telling Ralph how, you know, she says she likes Ralph and, you know, Ralph and Ross get along well and everything. So she's telling Ralph about how Ross wants to have more kids. She doesn't want to have any other kids, you know, because she's really busy. And then Ralph was like, well, you know what? We got 3 kids, okay? And we really busy. We probably just as busy, if not busier than y'all. And she was just like, oh, well, y'all act like y'all be busy, but I don't know. When she said that, I was cracking up. Because, girl, you know good damn well that these niggas ain't doing nothing that everybody else ain't doing around Atlanta, which is stunting. There's so many people out here who are just lying about what they do. and trying to put 20 on 10. And Sonya was just like, yeah, I ain't really sure what y'all doing. But he was just like, no, you got to really take into consideration what Ross wants. So I guess he's telling her that she needs to have a baby. And even when she has a conversation with Drew about it, and Drew was just like, Ralph really wanted to have another baby. He wanted a daughter. And, she wasn't really necessarily wanting to have a baby, but the fact that he wanted one so bad, she went on ahead and did it. And, because she was afraid that her husband was going to resent her and all this. And I was just like, I get all that, but ultimately, it needs to be something that you both want to do. I'm not just doing something because my husband wants me to do it, and then the shit is still fucked up, because it's not like Drew and Ralph, the fact that she had that baby, that's just one more child for her to have to be home with while this nigga's going down to Florida and disappearing for 4 and 5 days, So it was just sort of like, I'm not sure if this is the best logic. If you're trying to argue for this baby, I'm not sure if Drew and Ralph, neither one of them have gave her the best advice, if you ask me. But anyway, getting back to this dropping at Drew. So, honey, Marlo get there, and Marlo was just like, child, Drew done went to the FedEx and had them print out all this shit. It was all big, drop it with Drew and all of this. And it was just stuck on the wall. As a matter of fact, Bravo showed us what the place looked like today. It's just a regular gym, but today is dropping with Drew. Okay, so Bravo's shady. They gonna blast whenever they can. But anyway, the girls, they all about to get ready to get started, and Sheree comes in there, and she got on her She by Sheree leggings. She got on her She by Sheree, she got her water bottle and her She by Sheree yoga mat, and Kandi was just like, ooh, Sheree, that thing is distracting me. Basically, like, this big ass, that shit is muscular and big. And Drew was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was going on over there. And Sheree is just laughing. Honey, Sheree, so fucking around with these fashions, she should have been all over the sports market and making clothes and having exercise videos and all of that shit, instead of the bullshit that Kenya was giving us when her and Phaedra was going back and forth. Sheree is the one that really does do this, right? So yeah, missed opportunity, I think. So after everybody all weighs in and everything, and we find out how much everybody weighs, then we gonna do, get together and do kind of like a 1, 2, 3 dropping with Drew. Okay. Marlo says like, Kandi. And Kandi was just like, oh, so now you want to talk to me? And Marlo was just like, oh, he's been talking to you, Kandi. No, you didn't, because you walked right in here and you walked right by me. Okay, but Kandi was just like, okay, we're not going to get this started because this is dropping with Drew. I keep on wanting to say Jazz at Drew, which is a jazz festival in LA at the Charles Drew Medical Center. But so it's like my mind keep on wanting to say it. But yeah, dropping with Drew. Kandi don't want to ruin anything for Drew. So you know what? Let's just do this, and we won't even talk about the fact that you walked in here and ignored me. 1, 2, 3, dropping with Drew. Okay, so everybody gets their situation, they mats and everything where they're going to be working out. And then right when they're about to get started, Todd gets a call, and he got this real concerned look on his face. And he's just sort of like, oh, okay, now what happened? Okay, so, he's on the phone. He taps Kandi like, come on. And Kandi was just like, oh, what is going on? What's happening? He was like, get your shit. And she was just like, oh. She goes and runs and gets her stuff, and she's walking out. And you know how it is when you try to find out something and they on the phone trying to get the information. So you just like, what happened? And he was just like, some nigga done jumped the fence at the house. They on the property. The people called the police, and the police is on their way there, but they got to get there. And Kandi was just like, my kids are there with just our friend who's watching them, and this is scaring me. And I was like, 100% that is scary. That's one thing about being a celebrity, and especially when you live in a place that's accessible, because Kandi lives in the city. She doesn't live out far like Nene and Portia and all of that. She lives in, in Southwest Atlanta, like I said. So she's able, people can get to her. And if I was famous like that, that would be my biggest fear, is like people just showing up on my property and all of this. I'm sure she lives, she lives in a gated community and all, and she has a big ass gate around her house and all, but still, when motherfuckers want to get in, they want to get in. So that shit is scary. I was nervous for her. And when they finally rush home, they get in there, and her friend, I think her friend's name was Katrina. Katrina was telling them how, the police was there by the time they got there, but the guy, I think she said something about him saying he was an Amazon delivery guy or something, but he had hopped the fence and he wouldn't leave. He was sitting on the front porch and all that shit is scary. Those motherfuckers don't know what you gonna do. Okay. And so they had to wait for the police to come. But anyway, the police now said that he's not allowed on the grounds at all, you know, that he'll get arrested. He can't even come into the community any longer. So, you know, all's well that ends well, and the kids are fine and all of that, but that still is like a scary thought, just knowing that niggas can pull up on you anytime, especially out here in Atlanta, especially now when so much shit is happening. It's a scary time in Atlanta. But anyways, back at the event, they're all working out, and this looked like a pretty rigorous workout. You know, Marlo was just like, I don't work out, I get lipo. Isn't that what Drew did? Sheree was just like, just the fact that she's looking at Drew and can tell that she can't even do the shit that her person that's supposed to be a part of her program is doing, that lets her know that Drew is full of shit, and that's why she still looked like a busted can of biscuits. I was like, well, damn, y'all, the girl don't look like no busted can of biscuits. Anyway, Kenya shows up fashionably late. Okay, it looked like they told everybody to wear black, honey. Kenya got on all her colors and it's real cute and everything. Kenya looked like she don't have no intention of doing any workout, makeup done, hair done. Okay, she want to eat, going over there looking at the food and all that. They finished their workout and Sonya was like, yeah, this is really advanced. Like, I can tell that this program, you know, this isn't for like somebody that's just beginning. So then they start talking to Jackie. Jackie is Drew's partner. Okay. Apparently, so they trying to talk to Jackie to find out like how this business got started and everything. And Drew keeps interrupting, like trying to talk over Jackie. And Kenya was like, will you be quiet? Because I'm trying to get from Jackie how this business started. Well, it turns out that Jackie had a business that started 5 years ago. I think she said it was in Chicago, was it? And they wanted to expand, and they were expanding to different markets, and they wanted to come to Atlanta. Well, they didn't know really nobody in Atlanta. They didn't know anybody to help them get on. And so they hooked up with Drew. Okay, so really she just hooked up with Drew just last year, and Drew ended up putting her name on the business, and she's sort of the face of the business. Okay, but of course, you know, Drew was trying to keep them from knowing all of that. Drew tried to make it seem, you know, we've been doing this for years. No, Jackie been doing this for years. You ain't been doing it for probably even a damn year. It's always funny when you catch a liar in a lie. Anyways, now Kandi is gone, and I'm sure this scene was supposed to be like Kandi having a confrontation with, you know, Marlo and all of them. And because Kandi tried to start at the beginning, but then she was like, no, we're not going to do this right now and mess up the event. But I'm sure they was going to do it afterwards. But of course, Kandi had to leave because she had the emergency. So Manetta was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to speak up for Kandi. I said, girl, might as well get your practice in now. Okay. So Manetta brings up the fact that Kandi had said that Marlo had said, you know, that she don't, you know, she's not a good friend and she don't do enough for the community and all this. And Marlo was just like, I wonder where she got that from. Kenya, did you tell her that? And Kenya was like, yes, I did. Okay. I report back accurately. Okay, that's basically what you said. Yes, and she ain't fucking with you. Marlo was just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm so hurt. I'm not gonna eat. I'm not going to live. You know, she was being sarcastic, like she don't care if Kandi don't talk to her. Kenya was just like, you know what, Marlo, I realized just by being around you that nobody can really be a friend to you. And Marlo goes in the confessional, she was just like, you know, Kenya act like that she loves me and all, and that she's there for me, but every time I turn around, she hurts me. And I was just like, Marlo, you really want us to believe this? Are you spoon-feeding it to us? Are you shoving it down our throats? Marlo really basically just wants to have an excuse to go off on Kenya. She knows that she told Kenya she wasn't going to do it anymore, but then all of a sudden she starts up. Kenya was like, there's the Marlo that we all know. Marlo just starts throwing out all kind of shit. Where's Mark at? What about you and your fake ass? Did you get your lips done? Or did she say hips? Where's your man, Kenya? What about your fake ass? Kenya was like, my ass is perfect, bitch. Fuck you. When she said fuck you, I was like, oh, Kenya's mad. Marlo was just like, you should have told Mark that you were perfect. When you were talking to Mark, you should have told him that you were perfect. And she was just like, you know what, bitch? Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. She had her hand so close to Marlo's face. I really thought that they were going to fight. If somebody would have swung, it would have been a fight. Okay, that's how heated it was. And honey, Manetta had to pull Marlo back, and they had to get in between her and Kenya. Kenya got pulled off, and Marlo was still talking, and Kenya was just like, bitch, you will not disrespect me. Okay. They took her outside, and Kenya was like, I'll beat that bitch's ass. She say she not that girl no more, but you know what? Try her. And Marlo, of course, keep on saying that every time she turn around, Kenya is coming for her. Nobody is coming for you, Marlo. She is delusional. But I don't think that she's delusional. I mean, I think this is really a calculated. She knows exactly how she wants this season to play out, and she's doing it. Marlo gonna tell the girls that I don't never talk about mothers. I don't talk about husbands. I don't talk about kids. And of course, Bravo shows all of the receipts of when she did that. I mean, they didn't even have to show us that. I mean, we all know that Marlo is the one that says that Kenya has a mother that don't love her. Nobody loves her if her mother don't even love her. Like, Marlo is known for saying that. So for the fact that she want to say some shit like this, I was like, girl, you trying to rewrite this history. It is not working. I don't know what to say about Marlo, but she is just... I know she is the one that's pushing this show and making sure that, I mean, she's making the shit happen on the show, but it's so easy for it to turn dark, And Marlo, like I said, she just, when she gets upset and when she really gets in that moment, I mean, she gets so nasty with it. And she don't know how to do fun shade at all. So, we'll see how it goes, but that Kenya was pissed. All right, let me get off of here. I'm a little bit late for work, so I gotta hurry up. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.